All right, we do a Tuesday podcast for you, and surprise, so freaking prize. Yeah, we're on YouTube. How about that? Al, what's up?
Oh, the YouTube is starting today?
I think. I don't know.
Right,
If not,
we'll
it's
see.
Spotify and Odyssey and all that stuff.
Jerry, we've had these cameras in here a long time. Well, one of these days, it's going to show up on YouTube, and we'll be surprised.
It might.
So I have a number of items here, Jerry. I thought first I'd start with I have a project I would like us both to do.
Oh, I like that.
But I need you to think about it first.
Okay.
So I don't want to look for answers now.
Mm-hmm.
I printed out for you all 50 states here in America. We have 50 states.
Okay.
And what I want you to do, Jerry, is over the next few days, I want us to individually come up with which state you think is the best state to live in.
Okay, given you're going to give me parameters?
Well,
Or is it just on me to figure out?
I think it's got to be you, but yeah, you've got to come up with the parameters, but you have to tell us what the parameters are.
Okay, that sounds fair.
Like, for example, I wrote down some of the things that will be my parameters.
All right.
So I wrote down, I have a list of the very tax-friendly states.
Right.
So that'd be a state like Florida that has no income tax. So I would definitely look at the list of very tax-friendly states. Then there's another list called tax-friendly,
Okay.
which is they still have an income tax, but maybe they don't tax your 401k or they don't tax. It's more tax-friendly than, say,
New York?
New York,
Right.
California, these
sure.
sorts of things. So I was going to use those two.
Okay.
Then I was also going to look at, like, which states that are left. You know, I don't want a state that has catastrophic weather events.
Okay, so I mean, California's out right off
So
the bat because
California's
of
got the
earthquakes. I gotcha.
wildfires. Florida is very dangerous with the hurricanes.
Well, you're
So I'm
going to
gonna have to
eliminate a
look
lot of
into that.
places, though.
That's what I'm saying. I want to try to find.
You're going to end up in some small town in New Hampshire.
And this may be just me, Jerry. That's why I'm saying I don't want you to
Yeah, no, I
use
got you.
yours. I'm eliminating all Democrat states.
Okay.
So any state that's run by a Democrat, I'm out.
All blue states out.
All blue states, I'm
All right,
out.
Gotcha.
And then I'm going to go from there. Then when we each come up with our very best state to live in,
Yeah. Oh, there's more.
we're going to then, after that, delve into which town or
Are
city
you giving me homework?
in that state.
Okay.
And we'll go through it
All right.
and figure it out from there. So,
I don't mind that.
yeah, I think it's if you have another way that you would like to eliminate states, maybe it'll be like, how far is it from where we currently live in New Jersey, where our family is?
My parameters will be different. I mean, some will be the same, but they will definitely be a little different, too, because
Yeah.
I have different interests and likes that you
Yes.
have.
Oh, right. You're a golf guy, for example,
Golf
and
will
I'm
have
not.
to play a big part in it for at least 9 or 10 months out of the year. So, yes, it'll be definitely different, if
Yeah.
not all 12 months out of the year, to be quite honest.
So I think this is gonna be exciting. We're
Okay.
gonna pick the best state in the country to live.
All right, this is like serious homework
Yeah.
that I have to do.
Yeah.
That's fine. When is the professor? When is this homework due?
Maybe by next week.
How about Monday?
Monday, yeah. So like you could go through it and cross out.
Yes. Well, there's gonna be a lot I'm going to cross out without having to do any research, so
Right.
that's easy
But you should have a reason. Like if I were to say, why did you cross out Illinois?
because it's Illinois. Next, that's why.
That could be one of your reasons.
I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
there's got to be some intrigue. Like I would think before I even got to answering my questions, there's got to be some intrigue in a state.
Right.
You know, Wyoming might be a wonderful state to retire in. I'm not going to Wyoming ever. Not interested. I mean, it's Eddie wants to go on vacation. That's great. I don't. So I don't need a reason other than I don't want to go there.
Yeah, I was vaguely looking at this, like just kind of glancing at things. Like a state like Pennsylvania
Sure.
is what they call a purple state,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's not red, it's not blue.
It could go
That's
either
interesting
way.
because your vote really counts in
Yes,
that
it
state.
does. Sure it
So
does.
that could be an intriguing thing if that's important to
And
you.
Pennsylvania has some interesting areas. All right.
Yes.
I like this homework.
Yeah.
I'm all right. I
So
haven't had a
we'll-
homework assignment in a long time. Well,
It's been
that's
a
not
little
true.
while.
Actually, I have homework every time I got to do a basketball game. So
That's true. And you
I
got
do have homework
and
assignments.
cowboy games
Real
also.
quick, just you're talking about states and everything. I did have this thought driving in because I didn't get all of it, but I listened to a little bit of you and Eddie with the podcast yesterday and Eddie going over his vacation. It is amazing to me. We've talked about how different everybody looks, right? Even though everyone's got 2 eyes and a nose and a mouth, or at least you hope everybody has that. But it hit me listening to that podcast. I don't think you could pay me to go on the type of vacation he went on. And yet for him and his wife couldn't wait. I'm not making fun. I'm not poking fun at all. I think it's great that you do what you want to do. The same way I don't think you could pay him to go on the type of vacation that I want to go on. And, like you went to Italy. I'm Italian. You'd think I'd want to go to Italy. I have no interest in going to Italy. My sister-in-law and brother-in-law just went to Italy, had the time of their life. Yet when I look at trips, I'm thinking more, where's there good weather and golf courses and oceans, and if not oceans, great pools. And it's amazing just how different we all are, whether it's day-to-day life, the way we like to live our life, or spending time away from our daily life, meaning vacation. We are so different person to person to person.
Yes, we all love different things.
We do.
We want to live in different places, live in different ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even when you were asking him about the buffer day. So there's you, there's him, there's me. You are extreme. You need the time before, you need the time after.
Like a day before vacation where I'm not working and a day after vacation.
Correct. Eddie seems like he really likes that day before coming back to work, but not so much in terms of when the weekends, when he goes. And I'm more, what time's the shift end? 11 a.m.? I could fly at 3. Let's get the hell out of here. I'm good with that on a Friday, flying and then getting to where we're going in time for a couple of drinks Friday night. Let's get the week started, and coming home about 4 or 5 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, going to work on Monday. Like all three extremes are there with the three of us.
Yes.
It's really something.
Very sure. We're all built different, Jerry.
Yeah, no,
That's
I know
what makes
we
the
are.
world go round.
That is very true.
I'm have a new fascination with Jeanie Buss.
Okay, sexually?
Very odd. I think always. There's something about Jeanie Buss that I find very interesting lately.
She was in Playboy.
She was many years ago.
I know she was.
Yeah. So
she was the way that she was portrayed in that docuseries on HBO, which I did enjoy. I watched the one season. I didn't go back for the second season. Very attractive, very idea oriented to help shape the Lakers. But this is interesting now.
Yeah.
for
So
you.
this is how it started with me. So my YouTube feed, up came a Jay Mohr podcast.
Mm-hmm. They're still married or no?
Yes.
They are.
So it came up. Jay Mohr used to have a podcast called Mohr Stories.
Mm-hmm.
It was really good. It was when I first was starting to listen to the podcast. His was one that I was drawn to. He had comedians on.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun. I like him. But he disappeared, and I had even forgotten he disappeared until I saw him reappearing, doing a podcast on YouTube, which was, he said, I'm back after 5 years or whatever
So
the
it's
heck
his
it was.
new podcast.
He's still calling it Mohr
Okay.
Stories.
So the hiatus is over.
Yeah, but he was interviewing Jeanie Buss, his wife.
Wow.
And I just find her very interesting because Jay Mohr has been through it in life. He was an addict. I think he's clean now. Hopefully he stays clean. She seems to be drawn, like she's the owner of the Lakers.
Yes.
And yet her history of relationships is not great.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also drawn to the fact that
She
sick
was with Phil Jackson.
for like 17 years.
Yes. Yeah.
She is 63 years old now.
Okay.
She looks better now than she did in her 30s and 40s, I think.
Nutrition and medicine and exercise.
Right. And I am sure she's getting Botox because she did not have a wrinkle on her.
Really?
But it does not look like someone getting Botox.
Good for her.
She looks great.
Yeah.
And then because I watched some of that, he was annoying me because there's something, and I found this with Artie Lang when I was listening to the Stern Show.
Mm-hmm.
There's something about former drug addicts that all they want to talk about is being a drug addict, and they make it seem like it was such a great time.
Probably was.
And it's generally a very selfish life because everything's about them.
Mm-hmm.
And Jay Mohr even says in the thing that he's a narcissist and all this stuff. So part of me is like, why is Jeanie Buss with Jay Mohr? Like, that makes no sense. Phil Jackson, yes, that makes sense. He was.
What have you always said, though? Make a woman laugh.
Yeah.
Great personality. And maybe Jay Mohr just makes her laugh from here to tomorrow.
Yeah, and it really, like, guys, I guess the moral of the story is guys should never look at a woman and say, I could never get a date with her. You could.
You got to, but you also have to, you need, what's the
You
right
need
word?
something.
You need an in somehow.
You need an in, but you do not have to be a good-looking rich guy to date a good-looking rich woman. You don't.
What would you say? Money is one thing, and that's proven.
I mean, if you have money, right?
I mean, there are women on social media that will tell you they want to know what your bank account looks like before they'll even date you. So money's one way. Personality and being funny is certainly another.
Yeah.
There are right, wrong, or indifferent. There are some that are drawn to a big unit if they hear about that from a guy. And then there's others that like stability and just thinking that someone seems like a good dude who's safe.
Yes.
You know?
But yeah, it was very, so then because I watched that, her interview with Graham Bessinger
Yeah.
popped up, and that was only a year ago. So I watched that entire thing. I'm making dinner, and at night I put it on YouTube as like a show to watch, just because I was kind of intrigued by her.
I know. YouTube rules, man.
Yeah, so he's talking to her all about the Lakers, all about stuff. So they keep flashing back photos of her when she was like 30. I am telling you, she is a better looking woman at 63.
It really doesn't surprise me.
And they brought up the Playboy magazine, which she did when she was 32.
Okay.
Now I thought this was going to be one of those like Playboy magazine shoots where like you're in Playboy, but it's pretty much clothed, and maybe there's
she's nude.
She is full on nude, and it was
what?
It was when she was 32. It was probably the 80s.
A little more graphic.
Oh
no,
a little more
open, bushy.
Yeah, bushy, Jerry.
I understand.
A little more bushy. But that was so I felt like I didn't really see her nude because the bushness was really blocking things.
I hear you. Well, that part, but not this part.
But I am telling you, she looks better now to me than in that Playboy magazine.
I mean, you don't have to look far. The Jennifer Anistons of the world, and we talk about these people all the time, the Halle Berrys of the world, they look fabulous. I know Eva Longoria left the country, but even she posted photos around New Year's Eve or New Year's Day or whatever, swimming in a bikini. It's like she's 55. These bodies aren't supposed to look like this. And yet, again, with proper nutrition, and they all have chefs. I mean, all these very wealthy people have chefs that I do believe put together the proper diets for them. It does seem like they all get their exercise because they do have time if they're not working. They look great. They really do. Nothing surprises me anymore.
And then came up on this Graham Bessinger interview with her, and Jay Mohr was in it as well. Like he interviewed him, he interviewed her, mostly her because it was about her. Their living arrangement.
Oh, don't they live in separate houses or apartments?
So Jeanie Buss owns a 3-family home.
Okay.
Or I guess it's a condo type.
And he's got his own place.
She lives on the top floor. He lives on the bottom floor, and they have tenants in the middle.
Yeah. I will tell you that whether it is small annoyances and I don't know how long are they married now?
A couple of years now.
That's it?
Yeah, I think only a couple of years.
Well, that's a little weird. I was going to say, as you're with someone longer and longer, there are things where you kind of want your space from time to time. Also, snoring becomes an issue as you get older, and sleeping in the same bed with someone is problematic. Me and my wife, weekends, we're in the same bed together, but during the week, I'm pretty much in the spare bedroom. And that's more than snoring or anything like that. For me, I hold a different schedule than she does. So for me to go up and go to bed at 7:45 when she's not coming up to bed till 11, and then all of a sudden 11 o'clock the lights, not that she turns them on, but like the little bathroom light, you hear the flick. It's like people are coming upstairs, the hall light's on. You wake up and it's like, oh, now you're up. Meantime, my alarm's going off at 2:30 in the middle of her night.
Right.
So for us during the week, it makes sense. I could see if he's a comedian, she's got the Lakers. I could see that.
He was just saying that like men are sometimes disgusting. He goes, I'm farting, sweating.
I wasn't going to go there, but I suppose.
Snoring, just like it's just disgusting.
Hey, women do that stuff too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, by the way.
Correct.
Oh, by the way.
Right. He may be doing it because he don't want to see her snorting and farting.
I suppose that's possible.
And all that stuff. But
what is your take on opposites attracting? I think it's a cute thing when you're young. I think it's bullshit, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
As you progress in a relationship, I think it is more harmful than helpful.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see in the beginning. I think what happens in opposites attract is that you see things in the other person that you wish you could do, but you can't do.
For sure.
And then the other person sees in you things that they would like about themselves that they can't do.
Right.
But then I think you're right. Like the more we go about life and the more you dig into the things that your personality is, then it can become an annoyance.
And I'm not saying you want to look in a mirror at yourself as a partner. I'm not saying that. But, the whole opposites attract thing. So let's say you don't like doing anything and your girlfriend wants to go out every night or do 5 vacations a year.
Yeah.
You like to stay home and watch TV. She wants to go to the movies. You like to go to concerts. She's not really a concert goer. Would prefer going to a small bistro on a Friday night. Like that becomes problematic after a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Unless you have a group of friends that you can do those things with that you like doing that he or she doesn't like doing.
Sure.
And it's not a problem.
No, but as you get older and I guess to me, I think it's more helpful that you have similar likes as you're getting older with somebody.
Yes.
Like for me, I wish, and I don't know, maybe it will happen. I wish my wife would play golf more. And if for no other reason, my kids aren't getting any younger, and at some point it's going to be me and her. And I think that would be a very cool thing for us to do rather than me saying, if I'm retired, hey, see you in 6 hours, I'm going to play golf. You're not interested. But if you came with me, kind of like Joe and his, but Bingo and his wife, I think it's great. They play golf all the time together. I think it's kind of cool. If she hated it, I don't know if they're still together. That sounds crazy, but I think that could be true.
Yeah. Yeah. No one in either of these interviews asked Jeanie Buss about, was there rumors that she slept with Magic Johnson?
Yes, that's been out there many times.
Like no one asks. These hour-long interviews.
I think it's an old story.
But she says it like, he was like a brother to me.
That comes up during the podcast interview?
It does, because I thought Graham asked a great question, which when I was doing my interview podcast, when I was interviewing broadcasters, I was interviewing Tina Servasio. And I remember I asked her a question, and it was a very similar thing to what Jeanie Buss said. Jeanie Buss being much older than Tina. But I said to Tina Servasio, I said, do players ever ask you out on dates? And she goes, there was a time where you would think that. She goes, but I'm older than them now. She goes, now it would be, if anyone would, it would be the coaches.
Yeah, right.
And Jeanie Buss brought this up too, where they asked about Magic Johnson and those players, that she was like a sister to them. And now to the players, she goes, I'm the age of their grandmothers.
Oh, for sure.
Not even mothers.
Yeah.
I'm the age of their grandmothers.
You got a lot
now.
of 21-year-olds in the league now. She's 63.
But I'm telling you, Jerry, some of these 21-year-olds would definitely.
I'm not saying they wouldn't, but I do see her point.
Yeah.
That she looks at them as kids or grandchildren, and it's a much different. You're damn right. I'm sure there's a lot of 21-year-olds that would see her and be like, hey, let's go.
Who's this gal?
Absolutely. Especially the way she keeps herself.
And the only one that they address as far as people she's dated or not dated is the Dennis Rodman stuff that comes up all the time.
I didn't know that.
Because I guess there were rumors that she was dating Dennis Rodman.
Okay. That I never heard.
But she said that was never the case. The case was that she was always out with Dennis Rodman, though. She said because when they brought Dennis Rodman in, I don't know if it was Phil Jackson at the time.
Yeah.
Before her and Jeanie and Phil were dating.
Yep.
Or it was her father who said, we're bringing Dennis Rodman in. You have to babysit him.
Like chaperone him.
Yeah, wherever he's going for the night, that's where you're going for the night.
Make sure he wasn't heading out to Vegas.
Right.
Like he did during the Bulls years.
Yeah. So she said she was always out with Dennis Rodman, but that they were that wasn't a dating.
She's at I don't know, has she ever written a book? Because her life story has to be fascinating.
Great life story.
Yeah.
And she's still so into the Lakers.
Yeah. Well, she owns them. I mean, it's her life. It's
yeah.
If you look at when her family got involved, when Dr. Buss got involved, she was a teenager. So she doesn't know anything other than the LA Lakers.
And she also said that her parents got a divorce, and the only things that she did with her father were sports related and going to the movies.
I believe that.
So, yeah.
That's interesting. So she's in the news for that, and I'm not that we need to discuss it at all, but I watched the Pat Riley interview with Dan Lebitard 2 hours.
What's he talking about?
Fantastic. Well, I mean, he's still running the heat. Le Batard is down there in Miami and apparently really helped him out along the way in his career.
Who helped who?
Pat Riley was a big fan of Le Batard's and kind of helped him along the way. And Le Batard had a lot of gratitude for him. But just listening to Riley talk about whether it's the league, the way the league is going, career and life advice, really an interesting listen to a guy who has seen everything over the last 50 years, 60 years.
Yeah.
I think he's 82 now, Pat Riley, and still looks not like Jeanie Buss, but still looks good. Still looks good and spry.
I wonder how old Jay Mohr is. If Jeanie Buss,
I'm going to say Jay Mohr is 60.
I'm going to say he's
58.
younger. Jay Mohr's.
I don't know. He was in here a long time ago with Craig.
He is 54.
Oh, God, I said 60. Sorry, dude.
Sorry, Jay Mohr's.
You're older than
I'm
him.
older than Jay Mohr, yeah.
You could date Jeanie Buss.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Lakers owner, Jerry? I'd be like, yeah, I don't really like sports.
Yeah, opposites attract, Al.
And finally, Jerry, I want to get you a story that involves a Florida man.
Oh, we have not done a Florida man in a long time.
A really long time. And in fact, I got a call yesterday during the show to the regular call-in lines,
Yeah.
and the guy said, remember when you and Jerry used to do a lot more penis stories?
Yeah.
And he goes, what happened?
Also, there was the story about the porn star with the 2 vaginas in the Post yesterday.
Oh, okay. We did that one, though. I feel
Well,
like.
we have, but this was a new story about
a new
different
person
things.
with
Yeah, I
2
didn't read
vaginas?
it, but this was a new story, yeah.
Yeah, and I said, he goes, what changed? The guy said to me. I said, well, we used to get a show prep service. I used to have a section for weird stories.
I thought you don't want to do them anymore.
No, I don't really see them.
They're in I see them every day in the Post.
Oh, yeah, I don't see
I'd be
them.
more than happy to
Oh,
print
you
them
can
out
bring
for
them,
you.
Jerry. I feel
All
like
right.
people miss them.
I
just
get it.
don't see them anymore.
I actually thought we just matured and you didn't want to do them anymore.
Oh, no. But, well, I have one here for you. I
All right.
have it on my phone. This actually came across on TMZ.
Yeah.
TMZ. And this is the headline, Jerry. Florida man arrested for allegedly making sexual contact with a horse.
That's been done before.
And the second part of the headline, it's like that's the headline.
Yeah.
Allegedly tried to put his penis in the horse's nostril.
Okay, that I haven't heard before.
Yeah. 53-year-old man who, by the way,
was he aroused?
I don't know.
I guess it has to be. How could you smush that into a horse's nose?
He's 53, so he's younger than me. He looks terrible.
And older than me.
He looks terrible for his age. Cops say an unnamed witness told them she saw a man pleasuring himself next to the head of a horse. This witness also alleged the man was tapping his member,
Penis.
yeah, against the horse and the nostrils.
Horse have teeth, guess.
Yeah,
Could you imagine putting your penis that close to the horse's mouth?
they will chop it right off.
I mean, if that thing ain't eat yet, good Lord.
Wow. How about this? Cops say they received a video from the witness which shows this happening.
Oh, gosh.
Officers say the video doesn't actually show him. It shows him near the horse.
All right.
His actions and movement make it seem like he's certainly trying to make contact with this horse.
Bleep the nose.
Police then confronted him, and they say Calloway, that's the man's name, called his decision dumb.
That's it?
Adding, quote, I haven't had any sex in probably 2 months.
And he thought a horse's nose was the idea.
Maybe it was just a sexually frustrated moment. He was booked on 1 count of sexual contact with animals and is still currently in jail.
Could you
How
imagine?
about that, Jerry?
You're in there with a guy who's trying to rob a jewelry store with a gun?
Yep.
What are you in here for? I tried to bleep a horse's nose.
Yeah. Sexual
What?
contact with a horse.
Good God, man. There was a very good story I know we got to go, but there was a very good story in the Post. They interviewed an Australian male stripper who claims women cheat like crazy at bachelorette parties.
Mm-hmm.
And was basically, in his experience, in a lot of cases, the women act worse than men.
Is that right?
At bachelor parties, yes. That there is this.
Is that right?
That there is this. Whatever happens here tonight, this little group and clique of friends never leaves them.
Yeah. Meanwhile, if men did that, women be furious.
Correct. Well, the men don't
Double
find out.
standard.
The men don't find out. That's the whole point. There's this like hidden life of bachelorette parties that he's been a part of, where there's a lot of sex going on, and it's all a big secret amongst the 6 to 8, 10 girls, which is amazing that stuff doesn't get out.
Yeah, because women like to talk, Jerry.
Well, I mean,
That's
a
what
lot
I
of people
say.
like to talk. All you need is one person to get pissed off at someone else in that group, and that's an easy. Oh yeah, that was you. Talking this,
Yeah, I got these photos from that night.
or video,
Or
photos.
videos.
Would you be worried about photos or video these days?
Both.
Yeah, both, but the video is even worse.
Yeah, because photo you go like, I don't know what that really shows.
Exactly. But it was a very interesting article in the Post.
All right. All right, so Jerry, bring those
I
weird
will.
articles with you.
I'll be happy to do that.
All right, let's do the warm-up program. You and I did that this morning, Jerry, and we'll be back here tomorrow on a Wednesday with no football games to discuss.
Uh-oh.
We'll have plenty of
Maybe
those.
Deion Sanders will be the coach of the Cowboys.
We may get movement on that.
You never know.
So